right, and we are recording. So these are some of the people from Florida Logistics Group. How did Florida Logistics Group come to be?
Instagram. I mean, that's kind of how we all found ourselves. We just decided, hey, who wants to go do something? And we all somehow found ourselves in the same group chat, and here we are.
Yeah, it was like, me and B were just running gas and doing other, like, simple things, and then, like, 3 days later, there was, like, 18 people at my house. Sleeping all over the place. Three people cuddling in their boxers on the front lawn. So,
with an empty bottle of Buffalo Trace.
And then we went and helped old people. Yeah.
And the internet got really upset whenever we said they were old.
Yeah.
And then they commented, "We are old."
Yeah.
We are old.
I love that. Which old guy was that? He was like, "But we are old."
We are old.
And
Every day I wake up, it's a miracle. Like, what are you talking about? I'm old. Like,
he was like, it's like, why are you complaining that they're calling us old? They're literally showing up and helping. What are you doing? You're sitting behind a keyboard complaining that they're calling us old, and they're out here moving debris and feeding us. It's like, So what were you doing while we were out, like, moving debris and all that?
Holding up the fort here, taking care of donations and stuff like
Everyone stare at Larry.
that. No, don't do this.
You did more than that.
you did a lot more than that.
You organized so many supplies.
So many supplies, social media.
Everything
It was a lot of social media too.
You did a lot of social media for us.
Yeah, a lot of social media exposure.
What was
Forgot.
And when we say a lot of supplies, I mean like
Holy crap.
a container
amazing.
full of diapers, essentially. Just,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
that's right.
like, how many cars full?
Yeah.
I-
So, like,
3?
this whole room that the podcast is in right now was supplies. The entire room over there was supplies.
Which is
And-
like 2 normal-sized bedrooms.
Yeah, and then
Easily.
Crazy.
and then we
Easily.
converted one room. We built a loft, like a whole second floor in it, because it has 14-foot high ceiling in there. So we built a 98 square foot loft
Something like that.
up there, just for more places for all the guys to sleep that were doing the volunteering.
That's where we're
So
sleeping
they didn't
tonight.
have to cuddle on the lawn anymore.
I
On
mean,
a tarp.
they didn't have to cuddle on the lawn
At
the
least
first
they
time
should be
anyway.
Let's just stay away from the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the big thing, was that having our this place proximity, close within what, like an hour?
Yeah.
Hour or so, down to the main disaster area. Having this as a central supply point was huge. Because my wife, when I say packed, there was no space for my small children. In the van, full of diapers, feminine products, clothes, that she was supposed to ring up for 6. They were ringing up for 2, at the actual register, and it was crazy. But she loaded everything up, drove down. We had people from Orlando. I mean, where were we getting stuff from?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, literally everywhere. Like Spike's Tactical gave us a pallet of hand sanitizer.
Yeah, they were still using.
Yeah.
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 That's true.
So,
And then one of the times we're out there, and they still follow social media, so the Jeep crew,
Oh
I call them Santa Claus.
Oh.
We're doing Santa rolls up in a $100,000 Jeep, and it's like, hey, and he had, 15, 20 cans of gas? And this
5-gallon cans of gas.
5-gallon
Yeah.
cans of gas. And this was at the time when there was no gas anywhere.
Yeah.
So people were pulling up, and we're like, hey, we can feed you, and, hey, you need 5 gallons worth of gas. And
This
people
was
thought we were joking.
And this was September. What was gas like when they actually had gas? Like almost $4 a gallon.
The price wasn't killing people. The 2-hour wait to get gas.
Yeah.
That was the
Gas
killer.
lines,
that was
yeah.
one
The
of
gas
guys.
lines. So I mean, they had employees out in the streets directing traffic and all kinds of craziness. And then we just pulled up and we're like, oh, here's some food and here's 5 gallons of gas and everything.
Go and be
Yeah.
blessed.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were going to GFS, which is Gordon Food Services.
Oh, yeah. Just like little bitty Sam's Club, but it's amazing.
Yeah, no membership required. That's great. And just buying as much food in bulk as we can, like cans of food, like massive cans. I have cooked more hot dogs in a couple week period than most people have in their entire lives.
And our community table, who came from the East Coast, what area was that?
Stewart. So they're out of Stewart, Florida.
Came and fed the whole neighborhood with amazing food.
That was crazy.
For them to drive that far just to feed everyone, yeah. And while we were down, Operation Barbecue Relief, they were legit.
Yeah, when we were set up on the that one corner in Cape Coral making food, the same day the Jeep people showed up, we were almost out of food. And Operation Barbecue stopped by and dropped off, I don't know if you can see them, these black, you can't really see it in the video, but there's like these giant black foam coolers.
Like the really nice fishing cooler, like the foam ones. Yeah.
Yeah, filled with barbecue, like pulled pork and beans and stuff. And they were like, here, have like 5 of these. And we were like, awesome, we were able to keep going. The Red Cross did the same thing. They came and dropped off multiple things of food for us to keep going.
Some random guy from a restaurant showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, with his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulls up in the creeper van. And he was like, "Yo, you want some food?" And I was like, "I don't know. I've seen this commercial."
And then he opens the van. And we're like, "Oh, that's nice food.
It's
Yeah,
food
we'll hand that out."
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cool.
And then we had that same weekend, we were set up with the guys from Survival Living's YouTube channel. They are awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
They were cooking spaghetti as fast as they could. When we say we were cooking as fast as we can, like it was just nonstop, as fast as we could cook it, and we still had to tell people, hey, we can only cook so much at a time. Like you might have to stand here a little bit, but.
And we were 2 tents worth of food, and out of nowhere one day, another random people we didn't even know. They just showed up, some Cuban people, and they started making Cuban food, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, you're doing it? Yeah, that's where we'll set up too. And
and then they were there for like 2 hours before they were like, we didn't bring enough food. We gave out everything. We're like, hey, you fed a bunch of people. That's all that matters.
And it was perfect because they showed up right when like we were still cooking stuff too.
That's right.
And it's
That's
like
right.
they had stuff. Yeah.
It
was.
And that was something that really blew my mind was the value that people found in. Cause, I mean, we had pallets of clothes that people had donated. We brought out, but the hot food and the cold sodas.
Yeah.
That was something that was. I did not expect that to be as popular as it was. Like the things that Mike stands are sitting on, y'all can't see, but they're like good 3.5 foot wide.
Yeah.
By 4 foot.
2 or 3 people could curl up
inside. And we just they were just full of cold drinks, and then they were gone.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see them in the front here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, we're using them as tables. They're so big for the podcast room. And we were using them to put ice and soda in. But yeah, like the first weekend when we were down there and we went to that 55 and up community, they were, like, some of the stories out of there, like, I have no idea how some of those people were still alive. And then we went back, and we brought the little grill, and we were making hot dogs, and some of those guys were like, this is the best thing ever. And we're like, why? It's just hot dogs. And what was they said they did the men's club hot dog thing?
Yeah, we didn't realize it, but like it's 2 55 and up communities that share an entrance. And so they're like, oh, Mondays, which is the day we were there, is hot dog day. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so,
like all the guys would get together and grill out, and they would just do hot dogs.
And we thought we were so cool because we sent me door to door because I made Wick cook, and I said, no, I'll be on foot. So we did door to door knocks and just let people know, like, hey, we got food and hot dogs. And I would say we fed less than 100 people.
Yeah.
And just for time frame, I think this is like October 5th, maybe something like that.
It was like the first week of like after the hurricane had happened.
So like October 1st ish, we do our first recently realized that all these work crews that were coming, and big shout out to you guys. Thank you.
Mhm.
Y'all came in
All the
from
linemen, all the
New York. Y'all came in from Texas.
Louisiana.
guys.
We had rednecks working with Yankees side by side, getting our stuff back on, getting the power on. But that was pretty cool. All the Yankee linemen showing up to our food pantry, and they're like, "So you're gonna feed us for free?" Yeah. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's not just like, hey, we're giving out free food. There's no restaurants open.
That
There's-
was
There's no
Because there's no
Publix.
power.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
Publix. There's no Walmart. Nothing
No
is
gas.
open.
no street lights.
Like, the only places you could find hot meals were random rednecks set up on the side of the road.
So all
Yeah.
all of a sudden we have all these people that don't live here, don't know the area, and they're working 16 hours a day trying to get the power back on. And we're
Yeah.
like, here we go. That was one of the best things that we did. We did the honor system for picking up food because like multiple times we had the foreman came in. He's like, hey, I've got 12 guys on my crew and we're doing this to get power. Is there any way you guys can give me 12 meals? We're like, what kind of soda do you want? You know, do you
Yeah.
want Mountain Dew or Pepsi? Like that was the only question that we
Yeah.
asked.
That's what we the same weekend with the DeSoto fairground.
Yeah.
Oh,
The line. The
Mhm.
line.
I mean, just
Yeah,
the way we got there. So we contacted one of our law enforcement friends from Lee County because he's like up the chain of command. He's not allowed to just tell us, "Hey, go do this." He told us to go to a corner. Like he's like, "I think some people over there might need help." It was the corner across from the Cajun Navy. So the Cajun Navy's awesome, and they were like, "Here, take a bunch of supplies." So we loaded up a bunch more supplies to hand out, and then they said, "Go talk to this lady who's less than 10 minutes away." So then we all drove over there, and then she said, because we originally thought we were going to do food from her location for all the linemen, and she said, "We've got this covered here, but the DeSoto area needs food." And we did, how much did they, she said they did like 500 meals the day before they ran out.
She had a box truck full of supplies
Yeah.
that she was driving down. Yeah.
Yeah, like the biggest like Penske rental truck they make
Yeah.
full of supplies. And she's like, "Can you guys go over here and do your food?" And we're like, "Yeah." The line wrapped around the fairgrounds both directions. Like, not just one, both directions.
Imagine your county fairground, cars wrapped around it twice. From 4 o'clock to what, 8:30? 8,
Yeah.
9 o'clock, cars just nonstop back to back.
Yeah. And
Serving food, drinks,
we
getting
had
supplies. Yeah, sorry.
we had 3 grills going. And just
Only one cook.
Yeah.
and one, and like the line of like all the guys, it was like you'd pick up a tray, go to this station, put this in, like, and just go in a circle and then go hand it out,
And
repeat.
it's all volunteers.
Yeah.
That's it. No one's getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
This is our weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all had to be at work on Monday. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like all the funding for this came from all of you guys.
Yeah.
Like
Seriously.
literally, if it wasn't for all of you guys sending just random amounts of money via Cash App and PayPal, we wouldn't have been able to keep buying all the supplies. I mean, is it literally the so you look at all these other like charitable organizations, and you give them $10 and $1 goes towards whatever it is. You gave us $10 and we're like, here's a receipt for where we spent $11
It's exactly what we did.
on supplies to get down there and to hand stuff out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we didn't even think to get this far.
yeah, No.
This has kind of morphed into something we didn't expect it to. It was literally what 15, 20 guys.
Yeah.
That was said. Everyone's like, "Hey, we're all gonna," and we're just like, "Yeah, just come to my house. If I'm not there, just wait on the porch."
Yeah.
Because I got here. I can't remember what time I got here. There was like 4 or 5 guys just sitting getting eaten by mosquitoes because he lives in a swamp,
Yeah,
and we were just sitting there talking, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I'm so and so. This is my this is my first name. This is my Instagram.
What's
handle."
your Instagram handle? Yeah.
Oh, hey, I know
How do
who
I
you are
know
now.
you?
Yeah, like I knew him from the gun shows, and I had met him
At a
gun show because he
Good
came
show.
and hung out at a gun show. And then I've known Larry for 5 years, 6 years, 6 long years. Yes, and then the other guys just kept showing up,
Yeah.
and we were like, "Yeah, we don't know who anybody is, but this is awesome." And then we've all become friends.
Let's start taking out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. We won't.
Yeah.
we weren't just playing with guns and stuff the whole time. And then
It was what, like 1 o'clock in the morning before we all
yeah, we were
went
like,
to bed.
Well, no,
I
it
think
was 5.
yeah, so we were like,
It was
oh,
fine.
we should sleep before we go help. And then it was like, all right,
When was this your guys' first week?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, there was like
First
no
night.
sleep that first
Oh, you
weekend.
guys got together for your first time,
Yeah.
and you guys stayed up super late.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some
Yeah.
of
We
the
didn't
guys
leave
were
till like 10
Toys.
or 11. Like 11 o'clock, we didn't leave till.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And then it took us what should normally take an hour or and a half maybe to get to Fort Myers. It took us 5.5 hours because
Oh yeah.
the roads were flooded and just completely
yeah.
destroyed, and
Yes.
we had to
25
take
was
back
completely-
roads, and all the lights were out, so you had to stop, and everyone was rerouted. And yeah, you don't want to try and
We learned a
push
lot.
through. Yeah, we learned a lot.
We learned a lot that first week.
You
I
don't
would highly recommend that you pause before you go enter an intersection.
Yeah,
Something to think about.
Ramrod.
Hey, it just happened one time. Oops.
Yeah, that's the goofy thing.
No
is
one
that
died.
No one died. Exactly. No.
no one got seriously injured.
I got really sunburned.
Ooh.
You were a
Yeah.
lobster.
That
Yes,
was-
you
yeah.
were a lobster.
You got bad.
It was so bad. That was the first and last time I came out.
Do we have a picture of that still?
No, we don't.
Oh,
I can probably edit
there's-
one in.
I know. I was gonna say, hey, in post, can we put that right here?
You do that. You
Jamie,
will not hear the
Jamie.
end.
But,
That's okay. We start telling enough embarrassing stories. She'll turn the same.
Yeah.
She'll say
Like-
the same
like
thing. We'll just
legit,
copy and paste it.
Like paste your picture into paint. Like literally, just take the red.
It's spray paint.
Yeah, so where it just looks so awfully edited.
so that was the first couple weekends,
Mhm.
and then the power all started getting turned back on, and we didn't really need to be doing food or really handing out supplies as much. So we're like, all right, what do we do now? And then his buddy, the college picker on social media, said, hey, this 55 and up on Pine Island is destroyed and needs help, and nobody's helping him. So we were like, okay, we can be doing debris removal. And that's pretty much what we've done since. And what are we doing this weekend?
Yeah, so just real quick. So, logistically, one of the weird parts, we're in Florida. So, these mobile home parks, the reason we've been going to them is because they're technically privately owned. They're an HOA, so there's no FEMA dollars that come in and clean that stuff up. So, we did the debris removal, like he was saying. But this weekend, I'm super excited because we're actually going to finally get to rebuild. This is the first time that we're going to actually do construction instead of destruction. And we're going to be getting the studs prepped and then doing insulation, doing drywall, putting a roof on a shed. Whereas before all these weekends, it was perfect. We had a bunch of strong guys, pickup trucks with 2 hands. We were just hauling debris. That's why you see us reference, everybody was making fun of me in the comments and stuff, talking about the grandmas. This is an entire community of grandmas, and that was perfect. That was exactly where we were needed, which we didn't know this community existed before hurricane, but we were able to come in, and debris removal was perfect. And let me tell you what, man, shingles on a shed or on a roof, it's so heavy. It's so heavy.
Yeah, shingles are not fun.
It's the worst.
It was perfect. It was a perfect place for us to stick in, and now we're trying to get in a tempo of going down once a month and doing rehab, because now the problem is there's power, there's everything, but the problem is if you want to get a contractor, $500 worth of work is now or if you can get somebody to come out at all. A lot of these people living on fixed income. That's not going to work.
And the big thing is that the reason all these 55 and older communities are there is because the ground is too soft and too wet to put a condo on there.
Right.
So all they can do is put a, 1.5, 1 bedroom, 1 bath tin can on top of a, this what is essentially concrete on top of sand.
Yeah.
And
100%.
they're built like tuna cans.
Yeah.
And they get completely obliterated. And half the time, these people don't know what they're signing on for when they sign their insurance. They don't realize it doesn't cover storm surge. Which, I mean, that first community we went to, they were within 1,000 yards of the coast.
That was a complete loss.
The water level from the storm surge was overtopped most of the trailers.
Yeah.
Like if people had stayed there, they would have just died.
Yeah. So they don't have, it doesn't cover storm surge, doesn't cover flooding, and so essentially their insurance company is telling them, hey, you don't have the right coverage. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. And so there's nothing that anybody can do for this. So those people, if they don't own them outright, even if they do own them outright, they probably don't have enough savings or any kind of money to actually do anything with it. And so that's where we come in, where, I mean, the last few months, all we've been doing is once a month is going down to moving crap that they can't even move.
Yeah, and if they hired someone to come do it, they would charge them, $1,000 to move all the debris from there to the FEMA pile. And we're like, yeah, we're just going to do it for you.
Yeah.
And
it would take us, what, like an hour or 2 hours?
Yeah.
Unless it was shingles.
Yeah, shingles would take a while.
Theme.
But
roofers, pick up your shingles,
please.
Yes.
Well, and that's the one.
And kudos to you for hauling those.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, the one contractor, he just decided to not collect his last payment and just left the shingles. And then we picked it up for him, so we're like, all right, we'll cover it.
Yeah.
And I was like, at about hour 2.5, I was like, oh, this is why I did
Now I
this.
see why you did collect your payment.
That's fair.
Yeah. But that's where the volunteer stuff comes in, because people can't afford it, and we're not doing it for the money. We're not doing it for the internet clout. We're doing it because, if it were my grandma, I'd want somebody to help them out.
Yeah.
If it were me as a grandpa, I'd want somebody to help me out too. And we're just, all we are is just Florida taking care of Florida. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, when I think of my grandparents, if something like that happened to them, I wish something like that.
We'll be there.
That's really what it is.
And it's funny because there's all the people that show up to help, they all look the same. Like, it is always the rednecks. It doesn't matter where. It's like you can give them any name. Like, you can call them the Cajun Navy, you can call them Operation Barbecue. It doesn't matter. It's always the same people. It is the rednecks coming to help, because that's what the rednecks do.
They help.
And it doesn't matter where they're from. It's like, oh, you're an up north redneck? Awesome. You're a swamp redneck? Awesome. You're a desert redneck? Awesome. We're all going to do the same thing.
And that was the big thing, was that, I posted a reel. It was hey, you can just do stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask anybody's permission. Just go and do it. And that was kind of our philosophy. It was like, we didn't ask if, we had a contact at law enforcement, which, kind of helped a little bit to help us point us in the right direction. But other than that, we just showed up. And that's how we found that community. Was how did we even find that first weekend? Was that our contact or
Corn Lady?
No, he
Corn Lady. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a happy
so
accident too.
the first community that was our law enforcement contact. He said, "Hey, nobody's helping over there at all." He didn't say a specific location, but he said this area over here, nobody is even helping.
That's the neighborhood dude who drank surge water.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What's the dude's
yeah, you
nickname?
told me
What's
that.
our medic?
Poppy.
Poppy. Is he combat medic
Dude,
or
Poppy, shout out
Corman.
Poppy.
Shout out to Poppy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
you're glad you're moving on to better things, but sorry to see you go. I hope you do better where you're going.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he definitely saved that guy's life.
Yeah,
And-
you saved.
100%.
Well,
how many people? Like, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No. I'm just marveling, and I always marvel thinking back on it. Is who we had when we had them, because we had Poppy, who was a combat medic. I don't know that he actually did. Maybe he did combat stuff, maybe not, but he did humanitarian stuff. That's who we had, who we needed when we needed him.
Yeah.
We had Cab, who was a comms nerd. Why else would we need a comms nerd? When there's no cell towers.
There's cell towers that
no cell signal.
The whole time we were running off the UV5R radios.
Yeah, and he's just
Amazon
like he spent like 45 minutes an hour just like punching in numbers into all of our radios.
Like, I don't know.
And they're all on the table, and we could all talk to each other.
Yeah.
And then
good.
Yeah, we had all the random people that had all the random knowledge that we needed that first weekend. Then the second weekend we had I can't remember his name. Raisin Brand Sucks is his Instagram handle. We had him, and we needed somebody to change a tire on a vehicle, and he was a mechanic for some odd reason.
The only underage person.
Oh,
yeah.
That was Croc's brother.
That was Croc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wonder why there's a rule, you gotta be 18. Because
Yeah.
he's talking to me like he's an adult. Like, I'm thinking this man's 30 years old. He's married, got a couple of kids.
I'm sorry. His Instagram handle is what?
Raisin
Brand Sucks.
And you thought that he was older?
Okay, well,
Raisin
to be
Brand
fair, I
is
met
the
him in
shit.
real
I
life.
love Raisin
He likes
I met him
Raisin
in
Brand
real
too.
life.
That's fair.
You go on his
That's
Instagram and it's like
okay.
all old OBS trunks
Yeah.
and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is clearly a grown
Yeah.
man.
He's like
He's like
40
40
years
I'm
old.
17. I'm like,
I'll
took
be
a
18.
child
I'll
out.
be
I'm
18 in
freaking
3
out.
months.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, well, then I lose contact with him, and
The first thing we said was like, wait, you're 17. Do you have a gun on you?
and
No.
he was like,
Good, you're not allowed to
No.
have one.
Yeah.
We're
We're
not
not
letting a Rittenhouse
responsible.
situation happen here.
We have very few rules here, but the
Dude.
rules that we have are very, very hard and fast enforced.
God.
no felonies, sir. No felonies. Dude, but he changed that tire like it was NASCAR, man. It was like, all of a sudden, it was like, where'd we go? I lost the child. And I was like,
Yeah, we pulled over and like we sat there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Why are we stopped?" And they're like, "Oh, the tire's already changed." I'm like, "We had a flat
We had a
tire.
flat tire?
We had a- I never heard that come across the radio."
they're like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
He was on.
Yeah. Dude, you want to know, I met his dad. You want to know a man who did a good job.
Yeah.
Both his sons are
Yeah,
just
shout out.
straight up. Those are not children. Those are grown up. Those are men.
His dad showed up with a truck bed full of coolers with ice in them, and was just like, "Here you go. I know ice is hard to come by down here." We're like, "Yes, thank you."
Yeah. Dads are retired Marines. They've been
Yeah.
They've been pulling grown up labor since they were 6. So yeah.
Yep.
And it's just guys who said, yeah, we'll do it. And said, oh, that's it. That's the problem. No problem. We'll just keep rolling. Flat tire, we'll keep rolling.
Yeah, and that's how you have to do everything. A monkey wrench gets thrown. Oh well.
Oh, wow.
That was such a learning thing for me too. It's just like we had a plan. That didn't happen. We made another plan. Hey, that didn't happen. So on. Like 10 times later, you make a plan. You just act.
And then
act,
eventually-
keep it- yeah. Eventually, you get something done.
How many times did we change location that one day when the
That was the
that was
the
time
DeSoto.
the
Yeah.
the DeSoto place.
Yeah.
We went
Oh
to
my
like
gosh.
4 different locations because we met with the Cajun Navy after somebody already,
We
Yeah.
drove
and then
down
we
to
met to 2 other places before we got to the.
we
and
drove,
then I ended up having to leave early because we had spent so much time.
we drove down to
Yeah.
Fort Myers just to drive to Arcadia
We
Yeah.
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 Didn't we go through Cape Coral?
from Sarasota.
Yeah.
We went to
Yeah.
Cape Coral at some point too.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went further south. Yeah.
Cape Coral was the day you turned into a lobster.
I thought we drove through Cape Coral that.
Probably.
Yeah, we
Probably.
did.
Always.
Yeah.
I feel like we did because it was
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
we were everywhere. We
Because it was
went-
like
I
the
think the
same
only place we
area.
didn't go was Naples, like for down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this has been 30 minutes. This is going to be the end of the episode. It's hot, and we're going to go play Cards Against Humanity and make
Oh,
Larry turn
yes.
red. So, this has
Sweet.
been the first FLG podcast. We don't really have any along with everything else.
There's
this is
no-
F-It. We do it live.
There's no plan.
Yeah, no, we were just like, hey, I'm going to hit record and we're going to sit here and talk about stuff. And that's kind of going to be what it is every time. But, yeah, bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Just wanted to